This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are honored to have our friend Lois Hermann joining us here yet again to talk more about the natural new year. That's right. I love when she says, clear the storm, shine your light. As a metaphysical hypnotist, founder, energy clearing and alignment of Academy of Light. She's also an author, host, so much more. Welcome back today. How are you?
I am great. I am celebrating the natural new year.
Okay, what is that? What is the natural new year? I never heard of it until today.
You've never heard of this? Well, okay, this will be fun to share.
Good.
You know, if you go for a walk outside, the flowers are popping up. I mean, you and I both live in the northern part of the country where we've been under a lot of snow.
Yeah.
So the snow is melting and we've got flowers budding. Was walking through my property the other day, and there's deer trails through the woods, and it's just like the birds are here. Everything is coming alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back in the ancient days, and a lot of cultures still celebrate this, April 1st, the spring equinox heralded the new year.
Okay.
Think about it. It's new beginnings. Everything is coming to life. Why would you celebrate a new year in the middle of the winter in January? There's nothing. Everything is just shut down, right?
Yeah.
So the Mayan calendar, the Egyptians, the Celts even, they all celebrated a 13-month calendar. Okay, think about this. If we started in April, I'm going to use my fingers, so count with me.
Okay.
April is month 1, May, June, there was another month in there called Sol, the sun.
Okay.
July, August, September, 7, October, the 8th month was October, November was the 9th month, and December was the 10th month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then January, February, March, 11, 12, 13. Why do you think it's called November when we celebrate that as the 11th month? Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Never thought of that. No. Wow.
So that is the original lunar calendar that was around for eons. And when you think about it also, it was a 28-day calendar, 13 months in a year,
Okay.
28 predictable days. So the first always started on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first was always a Sunday. The 7th was the next Sunday. So everything was all very predictable by the lunar calendar, right?
Yeah.
So think about a woman's menstrual cycle. She has 13 cycles in a year.
Wow. Yeah.
28-day cycles. It makes sense. This is the natural rhythm of nature, of our human bodies. This is just the way that we used to live. And there were 28-day months, 13 of them, which would be 364 days. And it was called, there was one day out of time, which was truly a holiday. It was a complete nothing day. Everybody did nothing on that one day out of time. So isn't that interesting? You've never heard that before?
No, never. Thank you for sharing all this. No, yeah.
Doesn't that make sense though?
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so celebrating the new in the spring makes sense because everything is newly growing. The bunnies are out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So April 1st is
Yeah.
actually considered the natural. I never knew that. So cool. So cool. And this whole 13-month lunar calendar thing, never ever understood all this and the cycles and stuff. So thank you for teaching us and enlightening us on this today, because we're going to talk more as well, about nature-based living. I know you mentioned the shift away from nature. Then we got something about the number 13. I want to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Grounding and really, just you're going to give us some big insight today. So please continue to stay tuned here. Lois Hermann joining us here. And traditionally, let's talk, how do people really, track time before this, calendar system that they had?
They tracked time with nature. Now think about this. You're familiar with turtle
Yes.
shells.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to look at a turtle shell, no matter what the breed, whether it's a land turtle or a snapping turtle or a tortoise in the water, their shell has 13. They are, what are they called? Scoots in the middle. There are
Okay.
13 in the middle scoots, and then representing the 13 months.
Okay.
And then around the edge, there are 28 smaller scales. So, because there's 28 days in a lunar cycle, the moon goes through the phases of the month in 28 days. So, the
Okay.
indigenous people would keep the turtle shells, and that's how they would mark the days and the months by using the tortoise shells, believe it or not.
Who knew? I didn't know this. So cool. It's
Yeah.
funny. I had
So,
a dream. Now I don't know why you said the word turtle and now tortoise. And then it was in my dream last night. I was about to hit a huge turtle. I must have been driving in a car and I veered to the right. Don't ask me why, how, or if this is connected, but okay. Interesting. It just popped into
of
my
course,
head.
it's connected. And then
Of
what happened?
course.
What else happened in your dream? You didn't
I,
hit the turtle, though. You didn't hit the turtle.
I had no idea. I don't remember my dream from last night, but that just popped up when you mentioned it. I know. Wow. Hopefully it'll come back to me. Usually I wake
Isn't
up
that
remembering them, but today,
funny?
that is. Wow.
And you had no idea we were going to talk about turtle shells. See
No,
there?
none whatsoever.
So,
All right, sorry to interrupt my weirdness, but go.
no, no, no. This is perfect. So people lived a very predictable life because they could plant their seeds according to this very predictable time. They
Hmm.
could harvest in the fall. So everything was by the phases of the moon. And those people who are very tuned into their bodies recognize when the moon time, as they would call it for the women.
Yeah.
And it's very, very natural and very organized, if you will, because everything was always 28 predictable weeks or days in a month and 13 in a year. There are also,
Hmm.
little did we know, I mean, you're familiar with the zodiac, the 12 signs of
Yes.
the zodiac,
Hmm.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
What can I ask you what your sign
I'm a
is?
Capricorn, but I don't
Oh, a
really know what that
Capricorn.
means. Yeah, I don't
You
know.
don't even
January
know. Oh,
10th.
yeah. Well, Capricorn is a very hardworking. Think of a mountain goat that's going to be determined to climb that mountain on
Hmm.
that ledge, with hardly anything to hang on to. So a Capricorn is a very determined, hardworking individual.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah,
That
I
sound
agree
like
with
you?
that. It does. I am a hard worker, definitely, since I was
Mhm.
12. Yes.
So we've been under the operating under the guise of 12 zodiac signs. Well, did you know there actually are 13 astronomical signs in the heaven that we go through every year? One is called Ophiuchus. This is fairly new to me. It's called the Serpent Bearer. And that one was taken out of the zodiac. It's still there. We
Really?
still see it in the heavens.
Okay.
But they removed it from the zodiac because they wanted everything to be by 12s because they
Who
didn't like
knew?
the number 13. Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting?
Yeah, well, that's like elevators don't have 13 on it because that's superstitious stuff. Like, it's so weird because it's the 13th floor. You can't tell me it's floor 12 or floor 14. I know it's 13. Sorry, that's a whole nother thing. But
No,
I
it is the
guess.
thing. It is a thing. That is a thing. It's called tristodectophobia. That is
Oh,
an actual thing. People who have they have a fear of 13 is called tristodectophobia.
wow.
Believe it or not. Yeah, there are people that have a real panic over that, and it was designed to create panic in people, just like April Fools. Do you know why they did April Fools?
No, I don't.
Have you ever been pranked on April Fools on
Every,
April 1st?
of course, my
Of
kids
course.
tried yesterday. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when Pope Gregory, back in, I want to say the 1300s, is the one that changed the calendar. Not that long ago.
Okay.
He changed the calendar to the 12-month calendar. He got rid of the month of Soul and started the new year on January. So all the people who were saying, no, I want to stay with April 1st, he called them fools.
Oh
And he
my God.
mocked them and made fun of them. So publicly shamed them
Oh
by
wow.
humiliating them. Anybody that wanted to stay with the old calendar was made a fool of.
Oh, I didn't know this. Hmm.
Isn't this interesting?
Yeah,
Don't you just love hidden history trivia? I do. I'm
I do.
fascinated by hidden history.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you for enlightening all of us.
Yeah. So this was all designed to disrupt the nice normalcy of being in tune with nature. Because now, we have some months that are 31 days, some that are 30, some that are 28, and it
Yep,
keeps us all confused.
sure does. Yep.
And then throw in daylight savings time, and we're even more confused, right?
Yeah, I think it should go back, and that's a whole nother fight, right? People keep talking about, oh, it's gonna go back. People are trying to do a petition, but I don't know.
I hope so. And it would be nice to go back. I don't know that we'll ever be able to go back to this, but it's just an interesting awareness that things have changed in our history in order to induce confusion and to control people.
Yeah. Wow.
And then, of course, the vilification of the number 13, which again, it all ties in. It's all tied in about power and control.
Interesting. Well, what about power and control? But this is weird because, I mean, still people have this fear of the number 13, right? I mean, how long ago though was this all discovered? Do you know how long? Like the number 13, when did this whole what do you call it? Stigma of 13 develop? How?
This 1300s, the 1300s, believe it or not that long ago, because the 13 is considered the divine feminine. The number 13 is considered divine feminine. It was honored and revered. It was a celebrated number for so many years. And what happened was again, during the same time with Constantine and Pope Gregory and all of these popes that were wanting to take over and conquer the world, then 13, they considered that 13 was unlucky because there were 13 people at the Last Supper. Think about what's today. Today is Holy Thursday, Last Supper. So there were 13 people, one betrayed, right? So they started this whole rumor that 13 was unlucky. And then the Knights Templar were rounded up on Friday the 3rd of October, Friday the 13th of October, arrested and killed. So they started this whole campaign to vilify the number 13 in order, again, to get away from celebrating the divine feminine. Because in ancient cultures, 13 was the most special. It was a sacred number.
Wow. All right. Mm.
Because women who are in tune with their body, I mean, we have them, I'm long past that myself.
The
But when
menstrual cycle
the menstrual
thing.
cycle, yeah, there's 13, they called it moons, 13, your moon time. There were 13 moon times. And that's what they wanted to get away from, anything to do with feminine awareness, so that it could switch to the whole patriarchal awareness, right?
Wow. Yeah. All right. Numerology, astrology, all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Zodiac signs, how did you learn all this stuff? Just curious.
Well, I learned about the 13 months a couple of years ago. I was on the Truth Tour and people were talking about that, and I thought, wow, that's fascinating. And then I love to dig even a little deeper, so I started learning more about like this Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus, I'm not even saying it right, but I'm like, holy cow, that is a constellation, but they got rid of it because the serpent bearer brought wisdom. They
Yeah.
didn't want wisdom. They wanted to control the wisdom, so they got rid of it. You may actually be in a different zodiac sign. Let me just take a look. I've got this written down. There are 13 constellations. It's called so November 19th to December 18th is when it runs,
Okay.
November 29th to December 18th. So Scorpio is technically November 23rd to the 29th. Then Ophiuchus is from the 29th to the 18th. And Sagittarius starts the 18th of December to the 20th of January. So by that, you would be a Sagittarius. Who
Oh,
knows? But it's so weird how when you look at the natural elements, the constellations in the sky, because everybody before technology, people paid attention to the stars. They would plan their they would plan their trips, their harvest, their plantings,
yeah.
everything was by the stars. And so the stars are very much part of their life. And Ophiuchus is evidently a really the sun, the moon is in Ophiuchus for a long, long time. So it's very interesting how, or I'm sorry, not the moon, the Earth, we travel through these different zodiacs, but um, how they just get rid of it. Let's just write it out, and they won't notice it. Isn't
Wow.
that crazy? It's referred to
Yeah.
as the ecliptic zodiac. So, and again, that's 13 zodiacs. 13 in history has long been considered the number of the
Mm-hmm.
divine feminine, associated with death and rebirth, regeneration, because women are the ones that birthed, right? And oftentimes tended to those who are passing. So the divine feminine was all about wholeness and cosmic alignment. It's very special. It really is very special.
Yeah. Well, let me
Yeah.
see. Now, I know we still have more time together. We want to talk more. I can't find your notes. The whole page just shut
That's all
down on
right.
me. So tell me what's next.
We're just talking. That's fine. So what's really interesting about this is that when we start to kind of go back and tie in to the natural elements, to nature, and really pay attention to all of the wonderful things in nature, we get back into a gentle rhythm. Our technology keeps us, and you and I both use technology. Don't get me wrong, it's wonderful, it's great. However, when we become so dependent on technology and we lose track of all of the natural rhythms, then we get lost in stress, trauma. It goes against our natural energy. So this is all about reclaiming our natural energy by going out and grounding, by walking outside and noticing the flowers coming up, listening to the birds. Did you know
Yeah.
that the birds sing the flowers open? Did you know that?
No, not at all.
The vibrational energy of bird song helps the flowers to awaken. So it's all interconnected. It's just wonderful.
Uh,
And so there are people who do still to this day think of 13 as a lucky number. Have you ever gotten a baker's dozen donuts or something? You know what a
yeah.
baker's dozen is?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. The baker's dozen. Yeah. But the
And
baker's
so,
dozen's 12, isn't it?
no, that a dozen is 12. A baker's dozen, you get a bonus, is
Do you?
13.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a baker's dozen is 13. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay. Wow.
So in France and Italy during the wars considered the number 13 as good luck. So some cultures still hold on to the number 13 as good luck. Even in America, our original flag was 13 stripes for the 13 colonies, right?
Yeah. That's right. Betsy Ross, the flag
Yeah.
with the 13. Yes, it's in Philadelphia. My sons were talking about that the other day. Didn't know
Yeah.
that. Baker's dozen. I always thought it was 12. I
That no,
guess,
12 is your normal dozen. Yes, if
yeah,
somebody's
yeah,
offering you a
yeah.
baker's dozen, you get a bonus.
Uh,
And then even our symbol, the seal for for the United States,
yeah,
has 13 stars, 13 stripes, and it features an eagle. In one hand, the eagle has 13 olive branches,
yeah,
and the other one, it has 13 talons in the other. So there's 13 factors really prominently in the United States symbolism as well. So there's a lot of positive with 13, and even so people who are really the brilliant mathematicians in our world, they consider 13 as what's called a prime number. It's a happy number, a lucky number, So it's only divisible by itself, right? That's a prime number.
Yep.
And so
Okay.
they say its twin prime is 11, and it's a cousin to prime 17. So 13 is considered by mathematicians to be a lucky number. So there are
Mm.
those that consider it lucky. It's very interesting how some of these customs and habits and crazy things that we adopt as normal come to be. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Do you think daylight savings should go back? What are your thoughts on
Oh,
that?
heck yes. Heck yes. I mean, we used to have just one time too. They didn't have the different time zones and all that. It gets crazy, especially because what Arizona doesn't go, parts of Arizona don't go on daylight savings time. So it's really challenging. And then, we lose an hour, we gain an hour. They say that a lot of accidents happen during those transit times because people are oversleeping or getting up
Yeah.
too early. Everything is confused. And that was the design, that was the intent, is keep the minions confused and they won't be able to stay in a steady evolution and stay in a strong energy. So it's just awful.
All right. Well, let's
Well,
finish up. We still got a few more minutes here. I know we're going to dive in a little further into, you mentioned grounding and choosing,
sure.
I should say, your closing insight in a few.
Yeah. Well, whether you follow a calendar for the seasons or nature's always inviting us to begin again. And that's what's happening right now. This is a time of beginning again. And spring reminds us that we can start over. No matter what's happening in our world, the drama trauma of our life, every day is a new day. And spring, it reminds us that even though it's been bleak and cold and everything has been locked indoors, as the snow thaws and the sun warms everything, it's amazing to watch the flowers come out of the ground. We can start again. We don't have to stay stuck in our muck, right? We can
Mm-hmm.
always start again. And whether you want to embrace the new year, as I call it, the natural new year, a lot of people are very upset about it, but what can you do? This is just part of our history. Just recognize that this is our natural new year that the indigenous people lived by. We live in a world that follows the clock, but our
Sure
bodies
did.
still follow the moon, the rhythm of nature. And when we tap into the rhythm of our bodies, we're healthier and more happy, more optimistic. It's a cycle of wholeness and
Mm-hmm.
renewal. So,
Perfect. And I mean, in closing today, to work with you, I mean, you do so many different, explain how you can help someone today. What are some of the things that you can work on someone with?
people who are stuck, who are frustrated, who are just feeling heavy, they need help to shift and to lift. That's what we do. We help to lift the energy around you, and we teach you how to keep your energy lifted and strong. Someone asked me yesterday, how often should I have a clearing? I'm thinking, kind of like if you go to the dentist twice a year, you should go for a clearing twice a year because we pick stuff up all the time. Our energy is like a magnet to certain things. So if you were to go and just have a reset, a clearing, an energy boost, you feel so much better. And you are able to tap into your wisdom and to tune into your innate abilities. That's our goal, is to help people to tune into their natural abilities and their health.
And it's simple as a phone call away. Do you want to leave your phone number, website? How would you like us to contact you?
Website, everything we do is online.
I
So the
know.
website is rich with so many free opportunities and classes and programs. So just go to the website, loisherman.com, and you can also schedule appointments there. You can schedule a free consultation. So just go there to the schedule page and schedule a free consultation to see if it's a fit for you. And our
Perfect.
team will do whatever we can to help you achieve your goals.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you here. And don't forget, Lois, spell your name for us. It's Lois, Hermann, right? HERMANN.com, just to let people know.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Always a pleasure having you, talking to you, and thank you for being so thorough as always. And I got to figure out the rest of that dream from the turtle to I don't know. I really don't remember, but it's so weird how you sparked that memory in my head today. So we'll see. But I usually always remember my dreams. And just tell me quickly for those out there dreaming wise, right? It's true. A lot of our dreams are like intuition, right? Some are downloads
Absolutely.
of the day, but a lot of it also is premonition, no?
Yes, it is. And the Native Americans refer to America as Turtle Island. Did you know
Really?
that?
No,
Mhm.
never. I'm going to Google that. And my light
Yeah.
just went out. Perfect. All right, thank you. Time to go. It's a sign. See? Gotta
It's a
go.
sign.
All right, we're running late. Oh no. All right, thank you so much. Always a pleasure,
All right.
sweetheart. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Talk soon, hon.
Bye for
Bye.
now.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.